Welcome to Cloud Tech Nexus tutorials. In this tutorial, we will focus on Skype for Business Server 2015. Skype for Business and Skype for Business Server are different from each other. For all features to work, the setup can be extensive. Plan ahead for what features will be installed. The differences are many. The following chart will point out some key differences. The evaluation can be downloaded on Microsoft's website. Setup can be done in a physical or virtual machine environment. We will use a virtual machine environment. We will interface with the domain controller and Skype for Business Server. This will be an intranet-only setup, meaning communications will only work inside your local area network only. A second server called an edge server, special firewall settings, set trunks for voice over IP phones are required for outside communications to work. Setup will be in the following order. Create new virtual machine. Give virtual machine a name. Windows Server 2012 will be the host operating system. Choose disk size. Virtual machine settings will be set high to speed up install, then lowered later. Load server ISO file. If using physical machine, load operating system media and power on machine. Open Virtual Machine Console, power on and install Windows Server 2012 R2 or power on physical machine. Power on. Next. Click Install Now. Let's select Standard Server with a GUI. Accept terms. Next. Select Custom. Next. Wait for install to finish. Wait time varies depending on system specs. Create local administrator password. Log in. Install VMware tools. If you're using physical machine, you can skip this step. Select Custom to see what's being installed. Yes to restart. Log in. Press Windows key and pause break key at the same time to open the system info screen. Change settings. Update system description, computer name and remote settings. Restart later. Right-click Network Tray icon and select Open Network and Sharing Center. Click on Ethernet, then Properties. Select IPv4, then Properties. IP address is the local machine. Tab down for subnet. Default gateways found on the router DNS is the domain controller IP. Or open Command Console and type in ipconfig. OK, and close all windows. Start menu and restart. Log in. In Server Manager, i.e. Enhanced Security Configuration, Administrators, select Off, click OK to close. If not using Small Business Server Essentials or prefer to use the standard method to domain join, you may do so. If joining domain with Small Business Server Essentials, open web browser and type in connection address. Download the connector, run it, and finish the wizard to add server to domain. Use domain credentials. If prompted to use another account, choose No. Restart. Next. Next. Finish. Log in with domain credentials. Click on the folder icon on the taskbar. Create a new folder in the root of C drive and call it Skype for Business, Share, or any name you like. Right-click Folder and select Properties. Select Sharing tab. Click Share. Add everyone. Switch everyone from read to read-write. Click Share. Click Done. Click Close. Switch over to the domain controller. Open DNS Manager. Expand Domain folder, right-click Domain and select New Alias, CNAME. Alias name is Meet, FQDN and FQDN target host will be your domain and Skype server name is shown. Click OK. Right-click Domain and select New Alias, CNAME. Alias name is Dial-In, FQDN and FQDN target host will be your domain and Skype server name is shown. Click OK. Right-click Domain and select New Name, Alias, CNAME. Alias name is Admin, FQDN and FQDN target host will be your domain and Skype server name is shown. Click OK. Right-click Domain and select New Alias, CNAME. Alias name is Link Discover Internal, FQDN and FQDN target host will be your domain and Skype server name is shown. Click OK. Right-click Domain and select New Host, A or AAAA. Name is SIP and the Skype server is the IP address. Add host. Click OK. Close. Right-click Domain and select Other New Records. Scroll down and select Service Location SRV. Fill in the record as follows with your domain info. Click OK. Click Done. Open web browser. Log into router. Open port 5061 for Skype server. Close router web page. Close DNS Manager. Switch back over to Skype for Business server. On the taskbar, right-click PowerShell icon, right-click PowerShell and run as administrator. Type in or copy PowerShell script and paste into PowerShell to install roles and features. Press enter. Log in. Start menu, search, Windows Update. Change settings. Check for updates. OK. Install updates. Restart now. Wait for updates to finish. Log in. Download the following files from Microsoft's website. These files can be searched by name or from Microsoft's website. If you get a message stating the file is already installed, it's okay to proceed. It's best to reinstall than miss installing these files. Windows updates may have already pushed some of these installs. When finished, close File Explorer window. If using virtual machine, load Skype for Business ISO. If using physical machine, download and locate the install folder. Open the File Explorer window and navigate to the Setup file and double-click Setup. Select Don't Check for Updates right now. Install. Checkbox I accept the terms and click OK. In the deployment wizard, click on Install Administrative Tools. Next. Finish. Switch over to the domain controller. Open Active Directory. Navigate to the Domain Users folder and right-click Domain Admins. Select Add to a Group. Add Enterprise Admins and Schema Admins. Switch back to Skype for Business Server. In the Deployment Wizard, click on Prepare Active Directory. Step 1, click Run. Next. If you get an error, the workaround is to log out and log back in the machine. Close the deployment wizard and log off the machine. If you did not get this error, we will proceed to the next step after login. Sign out. Log in. Start menu, Skype for Business Server 2015. Click on Skype for Business Server Deployment Wizard. In the Deployment Wizard, click on Prepare Active Directory. Step 1, click Run. Next. Click on Finish. Step 3, click Run. Next. Next. Finish. Step 5, click Run. Next. Finish. Switch over to the domain controller. Right-click and select Refresh to update users list. Right-click Administrator, select Add to Group. Add CS Administrator and RTC Universal Server Admins. Switch back to Skype for Business Server. Click on Back to get the Deployment Wizard main screen. Select Prepare First Standard Edition Server. Next. Finish. Exit. Start menu, search, Windows Update. Install updates. Restart now. Log in. Start menu, Skype for Business Server 2015. Click on Skype for Business Server Topology. Select New Topology, click OK. Give the topology file a name and click on Save. The SIP domain is the domain name.local. Click Next. Give the site a name. The description is optional. Fill in city, state, and country. Click Next. Finish. Next. Select Standard Edition Server. The FQDN is the full computer name. Copy full computer name from System Properties. Paste in FQDN. Next. For this tutorial, we will checkbox conferencing, dial in and enterprise voice. If more items are checked, you will get additional steps. Next. 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 Update share name to your dedicated share name from a previous step. Next. Next. Uncheck Associate Pool with an Office Web App Server, and then click Finish. In Topology Builder, right-click Skype for Business Server, then select Edit Properties. Select Simple URLs and scroll down. Update Administrative Access URL with the following scheme. Be sure to put your domain info. Click the drop-down under Central Management Server and select your front-end server. OK. In Topology Builder, right-click Skype for Business Server, then select Publish Topology. Next. Next. Click Finish. Close Topology Builder. Switch over to the domain controller. Minimize Active Directory. Start menu, search certserv.msc, then press Enter. Right-click Domain, then select Properties. Select Extensions tab, select extension AIA, select third row item, checkbox Include in the AIA extension, click Apply. Click Yes. Click OK and close window. Switch back to Skype for Business Server. Start menu, find Skype for Business Server Deployment Wizard and launch it. Click on Install or Update Skype for Business Server System. Step 1, Run. Next. Finish. Step 2, Run. Next. Finish. Run. Request. Fill in the following fields, then Next. 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 Finish. Next. Next. Finish. Request. Next. 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 Finish. Next. Next. Finish. Close. Step 4, there is a Start Service Run button, but we will close the View the Service menu because the services may be started already. Start menu, services.msc, enter. Scroll down and find Skype for Business Server front end. Make sure that startup type is automatic, delayed start, and service is started. If not, start service. Exit deployment wizard. Press Windows key and pause break key at the same time to show the system info screen. Change settings and copy full computer name. Close system info screen and open Internet Explorer. Click on the gear icon and select Internet Options. Select Security tab, Local Intranet, click Sites. Click Advanced, then right-click and paste into Add this website to the zone. Add, click Close, click OK to remaining windows, then minimize Internet Explorer. In Active Directory, select View, select Advanced Features. In the Domain Users folder, right-click Admin, select Properties. Select Security tab, click Advanced, click Enable Inheritance, click Apply, click OK. Select Member of, Add. CSA, click Check Names. CS Administrator, click OK. Click OK, Apply, OK. Updating pre-existing accounts. You may create and update any other accounts. Right-click User 1, Properties. Select Security tab, click Advanced. Click Enable Inheritance if disabled, click OK. Click OK. Right-click User 2, select Properties. Select Security tab, click Advanced. Click Enable Inheritance if disabled, click OK. Switch over to Skype for Business Server. Start menu, select Skype for Business Server, right-click Skype for Business Server control panel and create desktop shortcut. Double-click Skype for Business control panel. Select Users. Select Enable Users. Click Add. Search for any administrator accounts you would like to add and click OK. Select Display Name Account. Click the drop-down arrow under Assign Users to a pool and select Available Pool Listed. Select Use the User Principal Name, UPN. Click Enable. Select Enable Users. Leave the field blank and click Find. This will show all accounts remaining to add. Repeat these steps until all accounts are added. Any new accounts can be added later. Minimize Skype for Business Server 2015 control panel. Start menu, search services.msc, right-click and create desktop shortcut. Scroll down and find Skype for Business Server front end. Right-click and select Properties. Click the drop-down menu for Startup Type and select Automatic. Click Start. Click OK. Skype for Business Server is now ready. Close Services window. Switch over to Domain Controller. If you are not using the Essentials or Small Business Server, you can skip this step. Users, right-click any account you would like to have remote access. View the account properties. Select Computer Access tab. Checkbox Appropriate computers for remote access. Click OK. Minimize dashboard. Now test the Skype desktop clients. Log into first workstation with the first user account. If Skype client is already installed, it would automatically launch and sign in. This can be disabled if you like. Previous, current, and next generation clients can connect to Skype for Business Server. The 2016 client is being demonstrated here. After sign in, you will get a how-to screen. You can close for now and visit later. Close for now. To bring the tips page back up, settings icon, help, quick tips. Close. Switch over to the second workstation and log in. On workstation 2, log in with the second user account. To establish presence, both accounts need to add users. Switch back to workstation 1 and add second user account. Click icon to add a contact or search name. If you just completed the server setup, you may need to wait a while before search works. A workaround if search by first and last name doesn't work is to completely type out the user and domain shown here. Right-click the user account, add to contact list, other contacts. Switch over to workstation 2. Being the first user account, add the second user. Search isn't necessary. Simply right-click and add the first user account. Switch over to workstation 1. After adding contacts, you can organize or create different groups. Selecting a contact will give you options how to contact team members. Click on Settings icon and select Show Menu Bar. This will toggle the menu. From here you can start an instant meeting. Access client settings. Right-click a contact and start an instant message chat. While in chat, see other options. Switch over to workstation 2. accept user 1 message. Switch over to workstation 1. As you watch as I use the client interface, I want to explain some important things about Skype for Business before we wrap up. In addition to instant messaging, for other features to work like IP phones or communications off-site, a second server, hardware firewall, certificates, IP-rated phones will come into play. This is also true for communications to work on mobile devices as well. This would be both costly and time-consuming. Depending on how you plan your deployment, you can configure these features at a later time. If you can remote or VPN access your physical or virtual machines, this will at least give you a foundation to start. At least your communications will be private. For USB webcam video and audio to work, USB redirection on your host virtual machine server will need to be configured. Remote FX for Microsoft Hyper-V, PC over IP for VMware Horizon View, and generic USB redirection for Citrix Zen Desktop, for example. This tutorial is a single server basic install, and all previous mentioned features involved resources not outlined in the series. Keep in mind that if you are just starting up, you may not need all those bells and whistles. Hiring a qualified specialist would handle the on-premise setup and configuration. If the extra on-premise cost and time is not worth the effort, there is the cloud-based Office 365 option starting at $5 per user account. I hope this will clarify the limitations of a single server setup. When done with session, if you close the client, you will still be signed in. You must sign out of the client, then exit the close out completely. This concludes the Skype for Business Server 2015 setup. All steps complete. Feel free to leave feedback or comments. Thanks for watching.